Welcome back to our course on FinTech security and regulation. We're going to talk more in this session about cybersecurity and crime. And we're going to look at some of the human aspects of cybersecurity. We have with Dr. Hilton Chan, of adjunct professor at UST, CEO of ENAC, fintech company, as well as a couple other companies on board of directors of and doing things in fintech. Formerly head of computer crimes and forensics at Hong Kong Police. So tell me about what's changed in the human aspect, or maybe incentives for human aspects of cybercrime.
Now, very often that we could see that in security, human is always the weakest link. And now, a lot of companies spend a lot of effort in terms of enhancing the technology to protect the data, which the data actually comprise of two things. One is the data itself comprise of a lot of corporate knowledge, a lot of the competitive advantage that the company would have. The other part is the data. It's also the digital part of some of the physical properties, like we talk about digital cash, a lot of IP products, etc. So for years, company at the very early stage when they build the computer, they spend a lot of money in terms of the technology to protect it. For example, let's say we have firewalls, antivirus stuff, intrusion detection device, we do backups, etc., etc.
So we do a lot of technology to protect our security.
Right. That's important. That's important to ensure.
So we still have to do that.
We do have to do that. It's unavoidable. Now, but the thing is, recently people discover that a lot of the time that internal hacker is still the major attack. Is still the weakest things to a system. It's not the unauthorized user. Very often that is the authorized or so-called privileged user that is abusing the system, that leak out a lot of the essential knowledge and the data. Now, by itself, because the data itself, it's the theft of data, it's taking a copy of it rather than removing the physical, the original, and then the owner still has the capability as still can use the data for its whatever purpose.
So this makes it easier to steal because
it's more tempting.
Not obvious.
Right. It's
Nobody
more
knows.
Yeah,
I just make a copy of this, and now I could steal data, which might be data that Snowden steals from the CIA, or the Pentagon Papers in the 1960s that were published by the Washington Post and others, stolen, quote unquote, from the government. Some people say revealed. As to the hidden truth that was kept secret, and journalists revealed this data, which some people thought was a crime against national security. Some people said is a heroic act to reveal government fraud and misleading of the public.
Right, and very often that human committing cybercrime attack, stealing of data.
Right.
And the data itself, that piece of information, right? Initially, when you look at it, you thought, oh, it's nothing, right? But suddenly people realize that, let's say, what happened if I could be able to hack into your iPhone and then kind of make some of those information public that you don't really want, right? Your family photos, your personal photos, some of your diary, who you're going to meet today, etc. So it may not directly has any monetary value to it, but to some degree, it's it's your personal data. You feel that it's part
it also could be used for blackmail.
Yeah, it could be used for a lot of different things.
Right.
Yeah.
So you can say, I will reveal who you dated on the side and tell your wife if you don't give me money.
Yeah, and also you can see the criminals change from earlier stage. Earlier is that the criminals are those hackers that I just have self-egos. I want to prove something. I want to prove that, I'll be able to crack a problem. I'll be able to attack a particular OS, right? Now,
so when I was young, the hackers that I knew, friends of mine, they were motivated by the thrill of hacking. And one of my friends broke into the Department of Defense, and he was able to change the time on the Pentagon's clock, so that when everybody went for the shift change, the clock had already changed, and the lockdown took place 5 minutes early. and this caused big disruption and made things not work for about an hour.
Right. Yeah.
That was so cool to him that he'd caused the DoD some anxiety and had a message on there, "I was here."
Right.
You know? And
Exactly.
so this was a status thing.
Yeah.
It was until the FBI showed up at his dorm room and threatened to take him to jail for compromising national defense. It turned out okay for my friend because they then offered him a job working for the Department of Defense after his graduation if he would fix the problems, tell them how he got in, and tell them how to avoid it in the future because they were trying to recruit a few top CS people. And so that was kind of good, but still, you know, they were in it for the ego.
Yeah.
What's changed?
You're right. Now, I mean, you can see a lot of cyber criminals, they mainly aim for financial advantage. Or some
so this
sort of
makes
advantage.
fintech very attractive.
Yeah, fintech is definitely, right? As one of the robbers said, right? Why do you want to rob a bank? That's where the money is, right?
Right.
So if all the our digital asset, all our currency suddenly are digitized into the cyberspace, right? So that's my target. So
why would I want to rob a small fintech company instead of robbing Citibank?
Well, now the good part is in the cyber world, right? If I could exploit a way to attack systems, even I could blackmail, you know, everybody $1 from everybody in a bigger population. It's better than I just go into the bank to rob everything from that, right?
Right.
One single source. So that's why you can see like WannaCry, right?
Okay, so I might be able to make a lot of money if I can attack many people's computer and say, I have encrypted your data on your phone, or I've encrypted your data on your computer. Pay me bitcoins, or I'm not gonna. I'm gonna leave it locked.
And also, if you
ransomware
kind of rip $1 or $10 off from every individual, the chance of that they're going to report the crime is very low.
Okay.
Right. It's like keeping.
And even if they do, the police are going to say, you know,
the effort, you know, to exactly.
This is a small crime. Even if we do catch him, I mean, maybe it's systematic across society, but it's really hard to trace this through.
Right. Yeah.